year I find myself battling bindweed. This stuff just takes over the garden like no one's business. But I do have a really clever way to keep it at bay, because what I do from around about now is I plant up the herbaceous borders here. The problem is they always grow weeds quicker than the salvias do. So as a result, it's a case of clearing it up and then getting everything all tidied back up and new plants in, because a few things haven't made it. In the next couple of months, this will be absolutely bursting full of colour and life. But first, it's the weeds. What I also love to do is make sure I cut back some of my perennials, and quite hard as well. Around about May time, you can do what's known as the Chelsea chop, where if you've got herbaceous perennials, you can actually cut a third of it right down, because they grow so quickly, they can sometimes get a little too heavy and start leaning all over the place. By giving them a cut, you actually thicken them out, and it has much more beautiful flowers. But I've also discovered, just amongst this rosemary, there's a whole grass that I planted here last year. I didn't even know it was there. I think sometimes it's easier just to jump on in here. I just get to the root of the problem. No pun intended. Wow. There's where the Christmas lights went. It's attached to me. I'm attached. How have I got this? Oh no. Okay. Right, let's just... I don't know what I'm... Pop those on there to give me some space. Right, for my show garden for Gardeners World Live, I promised a whole model railway going all the way through it, and that's before I researched how much model railways cost. And for the size scale that I wanted, it was, well, thousands, which, well, I don't like them that much. So I've been trying various bidding sites, marketplaces, even car boots to try and find model railways a little bit more affordable, but I'm always being outbid men who have for model railways, which, believe it or not, is actually more than I realised. So I needed to think of something out of the box, and that's when I had my genius idea. A Christmas railway set. Look, I realise this probably sounds a little bit on the crazy side, but actually, they're really affordable, they're a decent sized scale, so why can't I have a Christmas railway set on my Gardeners World Live summer border? I mean, sure, it's got a Christmas tree on it and some wreaths, but I reckon if I painted that and removed the word Christmas trees off it, who would know it's a Christmas railway set? So let's test it out and see whether this is actually viable. Now, I know this sounds like absolute madness, but from a cost point of view, let me break it down for you. If I was to go for a full-scale model railway, it's close to £2,000. If I do it this way, it's £200. This has got to work, surely. The next thing I had to do was piece the track together, and as you can probably see here, it's not the most premium of track. In fact, actually, it's quite stiff to put together. So, if I am going to do this, I may have to make a few upgrades. Right, final bit in place. Huh, this covered a lot more than I expected. Right. Okay, there's a train, a caboose. Where do the batteries go? Where do the batteries go? I don't understand. Where do the batteries go? Sometimes I feel I'm too smart for instructions. This was not one of those times. Right. It goes, oh. Ha ha. It's going to be interesting to try and hide these Christmas trees. Batteries in, it was time to place the train on the track and see, well, whether it actually works. It's not feeling sturdy, but we will try. Right. Okay, here we go. One. Go. That could be a problem. Right, I think I've figured out the problem. It's got these really thick wires in between, which when I put the connectors on, it pushes it all out of place and it doesn't like it. But if I remove the connectors and just let it run by its own wires, you'll see, no issue at all. So that tells me I'm gonna have to make a bit of tweaking, but as a result, I'll be able to use a Christmas railway for a show garden. How cool is that? Well, it looks like we may have a genius idea ahead of us after all. All I need to do is remove the Christmasification of these items, and then I've got myself a working railway for my show garden. Not too bad, eh? I've managed to bag myself a couple hours of free time, and I'm going to use it by going to visit Liz and Nigel. Now, they're on holiday until tomorrow, and if you remember the story of Liz and Nigel, we designed a garden for them because they're hosting their daughter's wedding party next month, which has come round so fast. The guys have been working tirelessly on it, getting it ready, so I thought we'd have a sneak peek and a look before Liz and Nigel come back off holiday. How exciting. Because it's been so busy, I've had no time to actually see how the garden looks, so this is my first time seeing it after the design. Let's have a nosy, shall we? Oh, wow. Now this looks a lot different. Well, it looks like Nigel's going to get his square and flat lawn after all. Look at that. They've even put the stripes in. Now this I've been particularly excited to have a look at. Should we go for a walk? Now this may not feel like much right now because it's just the bare bones, but remember, this is going to be full of plants through here, which is going to give it some texture and layers to it. And I will be standing over a water feature right here and a gorgeous pond that will go through to this bit over there. As you can probably see here, that this bit will be where the building will go in the corner, the nice little gazebo with the tiled roof, and that will give that nice bit of afternoon sun. And I'm quite lucky that I'm here in the afternoon and it's beaming down exactly where we thought it would be. So from a designer's point of view, check. Foundation's there, and that should be up soon as well. But it doesn't matter if it's not till later. That's the fun thing about gardening. It doesn't have to be straight away. What's the point in building a garden if it doesn't take a little bit of time? I think I get why Kevin MacLeod does this. No matter how many gardens I design, it always does amaze me to see what can only be described as a mud pit transform slowly into your ideal space. This space here is the kitchen garden, and as you can see, it's massive. The pergola looks fantastic, and you'll always know if I've designed something because I'll always try and sneak a pergola into it. And a lot of people ask me, what's the point in a pergola? Why do I need this in my garden? And the long and short of it is, it's an idea of creating cover and security and a little bit of tranquility, but you haven't starved yourself of the light, you haven't starved yourself of the airiness of a garden. So it feels like you're indoors, but actually you're still outdoors enjoying it. If it rains, you're going to feel it. If it's sunny, you're going to feel it, but you still feel like you're covered. And when all these plants are in as well, along the borders, it's just going to really encapsulate it and create this amazing environment, but you're still outside. I love a garden. This is a bit of a bittersweet moment really, because I've got to enjoy this and see how it's developing a day before Liz and Nigel get here. And whilst I'm really excited for them to see this, I'm also a little bit sad that I don't get to see their faces when they see that muddy mound of a garden is now beautifully flat and straight. I've got a month to go to get this planted up and ready for their daughter's wedding. I'm not stressed about it at all. Spending time at Liz and Nigel's made me realise I've still got my borders to tackle. So let's crack on with those, shall we? Oh, little Robin. Sorry, little Robin. Oh, that scared the life out of me. Right, okay. This here is actually a fuchsia bush, and this fuchsia bush refuses to leave this border. It used to take over the whole border, and then I cut it back to absolutely nothing. I even tried to dig half the stump out, and it comes back every year. You could probably spray weed killer on this, and it would still come back. So when people tell me, oh, it's difficult to grow a fuchsia bush, I think you're foolish. What I like to do to get the most successful beds out of my front border is actually cut quite harsh back on my perennial. Some people call it the Chelsea chop. I call it making the borders look nicer. And what you can do, so for example, like this penstemon, it was all the way out here, but I've cut it down to pretty much a stump. And it's got loads of little shoots on the side of it, and that will create a nice thicker bush, which should grow in tangent with everything else. So it all feels part of it. And because it's established, I know it will grow. I'll do the same with the salvia as well. It feels really harsh doing it, but as long as you cut above some healthy leaves, it will just give you a nice new plant again. It won't feel so mad. It'll have gorgeous flowers. Oh, honestly, gardening, it's not that difficult. It's just about knowing what to do. Do you know what my number one rule for weeds is? It's not weed killer. It's not trying to use special tactics, which can work. But really, the long game is patience and perseverance. And like I said, once I've filled this up and I'm starving them of light, they won't get the energy they need and they should die back. But look, with bindweed, it's not a season, it's not 2 seasons, maybe not even 3 seasons. It can take years to get rid of. But, persevere. Ah, looks like I cut through the Christmas lights. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, that's gone down dramatically. He's butchered it. It's not going to come back. But I promise you, it will. In a month's time, you won't even notice I've done this. That's the beauty of it. Now I'm going to let you in on a little secret here, because the success to my borders is down to clever watering and perfect sunlight. But I don't water this border. What I do is I use this, which is known as a soaker hose, and it's absolutely brilliant. You lay it on the ground all the way in an S shape and you half bury it in some mud, plant your plants around it, and I've got it on a timer. It goes on for about 20 minutes every evening, soaks the soil, gets it all well watered. I don't have to do anything. It's genius, isn't it? Like most things in my garden, they're genius until I accidentally break them. Oh God. Oh God. Oh, I've nicked it. I've nicked it. Oh my God. No. 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 Go turn the water off. Ah. Oh. Oh. Okay, I'm done. I'm done with plant tips. You've learned enough. Good morning from the Queen Elizabeth Bridge. It is a nice sunny day and I am off to Margate to see my good friend Lou Sanders. Now, if you remember, we had designed her a greenhouse. It has been built, so we're going to see how it looks. I'm a little bit nervous because it's the first time I've ever designed a greenhouse, so hopefully it looks okay. We're going to be filming some bits as well for our social media content, so if you've been enjoying the videos of me and Lou prattling around in the garden, there's going to be more of them, and you guys are the first to know, so that's kind of cool, isn't it? Tell you what, I've picked a good day for this. It's really sunny. It's about 7 AM, which means I've beaten all the traffic. You bet I'm feeling smug. The weather held up its promise and I was having a good day, so it's time to see how my design actually looked. Wow!
It's a thing of beauty, isn't it?
It's quite magnificent, isn't it?
And that's modest of you because you designed it, but it is. When I'm designing stuff, it's got more sort of tassels on and stuff.
Yeah.
But I think for that, it works without the tassels.
I think it does. I am dying to look inside it.
Come on then. It is beautiful, it's sleek, and I've run out of adjectives. It's so nice.
Wow.
C'est chic, c'est sleek, c'est fantastique. And also, I can dry my washing in here as well.
Yes, you can. Are you happy with it?
Hand on heart, but not on microphone. Love it. Right.
Oh my God.
Well, I wouldn't get excited.
What have you brought me?
I made some hummus.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for the hummus.
It's very smooth, they're saying.
It's
People are saying it's very smooth.
Who are the people?
Me.
Okay.
Look how smooth that is.
That's okay. That's a big spoonful. Did you want me to?
Well, do you want some bread to go with it?
Yeah, I could try some bread.
I actually did make bread the other day with my uncle, sourdough.
Is that his name?
Sure, no. Very creamy.
I'll give it a go.
You give it a 10.
You sure you don't want any hummus for your bit of bread?
I shouldn't think so.
It was lovely.
Do you know what the word ungrateful means? I'm so happy and I'm going to grow so much in here. Just as soon as you sort the windows out.
Why, what's wrong with the windows?
Well, there's 7 panes missing.
Oh my God, there is.
Mm.
Why is there 7 missing?
They ran out of glass.
Who runs out of glass?
It turns out the builders had told me, and they needed me to go get the glass. In Nottingham. 4 hours away.
I hate traffic.
Go! So I decide to handle this the only way I know how to. By moaning about it.
Do you know what I can't get my head around? Whenever you go across the Dartford crossing, it always says there's traffic due to a car fire. Why are there so many car fires? Who is going, do you know what? I'm just going to go to Dartford today and set my car on fire. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. There's no place like home.
To save time, I meet the supplier at a service station to exchange the glass, and yes, I'm aware of how dodgy this looks, and then I head back the next day to finally fit the glass.
Right, I've got glass. One thing you'll learn about Lou is she's a very enthusiastic and determined person. So whilst the glass hasn't been here, she has started planting things, which is great, absolutely fine, but I just got to make sure I don't tread any aubergines while I'm putting the glass in.
The spoon.
Okay, I'll just take a bit.
No, come on, it's really nice. You know there's a thing in broadcasting that you cannot deceive your viewers.
Mm-hmm. Am I allowed to not understand it?
What do you mean not understand it?
I can't figure out what it is. Maybe it's because it's almost liquid. When did you make this?
The exact oh, yeah, I've left it overnight in a hot house.
Lovely.